Sometime around 2013, the city of London had to order a tech company to shut down a network of smart recycling bins that were placed all over the city, and they featured digital screens to show ads, giving that ad with pure trash a new meaning. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Wi-Fi sniffers. These recycling bins were quietly pinging smartphones of people passing by, logging a unique string of numbers from each one and tracking people's morning commutes. They knew if you walked past a specific bin every Tuesday at 7 a.m. on your way to work and used that to target ads at you. Now, it's obvious nobody consented to this or even been connected to the bin's Wi-Fi. The tracking happened entirely invisibly, all because a basic networking feature built into every device you own: the MAC address. Not the Big Mac, this isn't a cheat meal, it's a video about networking. If you poke around your phone, laptop, or even in your router's network settings, you'll find it. It looks like 6 pairs of letters and numbers, separated by colons or hyphens, like shown on screen. If we were to simplify the role of the MAC address, it is to handle local traffic, just as the IP routes traffic across the internet. But IPs work in local networks too. So the more accurate way to put this, a MAC address works at layer 2 and gets data to the right device inside the local network. An IP address works at layer 3 and routes data between networks. In practice, once the data reaches your home network, your router uses MAC addresses to deliver it to the correct device, like your laptop instead of your phone. Originally, these addresses were completely permanent. The first half is a little manufacturer code. If you paste a MAC address into an online database, it will immediately tell you if the network card was made by Intel, Apple, or some obscure overseas vendor available at a great deal on Temu. The second half is a unique serial number. Decades ago, engineers at IEEE did the math, realized this format gave them about 281 trillion unique combinations, and they assumed that would be plenty to give every network card on Earth a permanent, unchanging identity. And back when computers were giant beige towers that never left your desk, a permanent ID was totally fine. The problem started when we put Wi-Fi chips in our pockets. When your phone's Wi-Fi is turned on, but you aren't connected to a network, it doesn't just stay quiet. It constantly sends out digital pings for various reasons, and every single one of those pings included your phone's permanent factory-assigned MAC address. These are called probe requests. As you can imagine, everyone stood calm and moved on happily, except retailers and ad tech companies realized they could exploit this, and systems could even recognize at one point if you are lingering in certain parts of the store. Neat. Basically building a massive database of physical foot traffic using a basic networking protocol, knowing each time you sneezed in the electronics department. And before you go all Black Mirror on me, these are facts. This has happened. We have the Nordstrom experiment in 2013, Retail Next, Nomi, and the list goes on. The good news is that today Android, iOS, and Windows devices actively lie. They randomized MAC addresses basically saved us from this issue. Our phones constantly scramble their identity, so the mall sniffers can't track you. Or at least not anymore. Your device now reveals a consistent MAC address only when you actually decide to connect to a specific network that you trust. To be fair, I should mention that when phones generate random MACs, they do have some ways you can tell if what you're looking at is a randomized MAC or not, like real MACs mapped to a company, the special bit that can indicate randomness, but these methods are not 100% reliable. This randomization of MAC addresses was a huge victory for privacy, but it did break some of the old rules of networking, like trying MAC filtering. Old privacy guides will tell you to create a list of specific MAC addresses so only they are allowed on your home Wi-Fi. Today this is useless, as anyone sitting in a car outside your house can use free software to see the approved MAC addresses talking to your router and just clone them and waltz right past your complex filter. It also adds some small headaches for power users that rely on static IPs, but it's nothing unpredictable or not manageable. So that's where we are. A rigid hardware ID from the 1980s got weaponized by shopping malls, and now our phones just spoof it constantly to keep us off the radar.